What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Schmidt's MLB picks on Guy Boston Sports. It is Wednesday, May the 11th, and we have a full slate of MLB games today. All 30 teams in action. But real quick, let's get to our Tuesday recap. My second day, and we were looking so good, and then just some absolutely brutal beats. Last night, our Kansas City, Texas NRFI play was at the bottom of the first with 2 outs, and then Corey Seager rips a solo shot on Brad Keller. A double whammy for me because I had Brad Keller starting on my fantasy team. And then the Dodgers cast for us with these, called that one, them bouncing back big time against Pittsburgh. And then we were all over that one. Then the sprinkle on Toronto was right there. And then Aaron Judge rips the 3-run walk-off home run to knock off Toronto. The Blue Jays were up 5-3 before that. And so that was just another brutal bad beat for us. And then the Mets clutched it out for us. They were down 2-0, and then 3 runs in the top of the 6th, and added another one down the stretch to seal that pick for us. So that was clutch. And then the Rays just absolutely sucked. Reed Detmers came in with over a 4 ERA without a quality MLB start and tosses a no-hitter. And Corey Kluber is supposed to be good for the Rays, was absolutely cheeks. And that's my bad on that one. Taking the Rays there, thinking that they would play much better yesterday, but it was the complete opposite for us. And then our player prop was so solid. Ketel Marte coming in red hot, and that one I don't think cashed. Maybe you guys could fill me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure he was walked twice but didn't pick up an actual hit. So I don't think those 2 base on balls count as total bases when you're betting on that statistic. So unfortunate for us there. Ketel Marte unable to register a base hit or more in against the Marlins. And then our ride of the day smacked though. The Astros shutting out the Twins 5-0. Shout out to Eli Gubert, who is rolling right now actually. Be sure to keep up with his plays in our comments. And shout out to Eli Gubert. We were all over Verlander dominating in yesterday's vid. And then an honorable mention to Gotta Get the Bag. He's always helping us out with those solid plays. I know he was sweating that Brewers Reds over. Brewers winning 5-4, bouncing back with a Moneyline win against the Reds. So very tough scene for us. Some bad beats, but it's time to bounce back. Still 9-6 against the spread on Tuesday, 3-0 in our over-under selections. So hey, let's get right to it. A full slate as we mentioned, and we're gonna bounce back today. Let's get hot. First game, we have the Game 3 finale of the Dodgers at the Pirates. You know where this lean is going. I'd take the Dodgers run line -1.5. Their bats are just too good, and the Dodgers are playing a mediocre team in the Pirates, and LA 8-2 in their last 10. Should be easy there. Also like the over 8.5 in this one, thinking that the Pirates might generate a little more offense, trailing behind the Dodgers' red-hot bats. And next up, we have Toronto at New York, wrapping up that series. We saw the Blue Jays blow it yesterday, but getting plus odds on the underdog money line. I don't think this is a terrible play because Toronto needs this game, and the pitching matchup can go either way. So I think you could sprinkle on that Toronto money line again. Obviously nowhere near the great odds we had yesterday, and they almost hung on to secure it. But today I'm feeling more comfortable taking the over at 7.5 with 2 potent offenses going at it, and the pitching matchup a little questionable there. Our next game, the Brewers at the Reds. Milwaukee able to bounce back yesterday, but only winning by 1. I expect the Brewers to play their best game of the series on Wednesday, leaning on the run line there. Starting pitcher Hauser, he's 3-2, 3.42 ERA, while the Reds, Gutierrez, having a terrible season, He is winless with an abysmal 8.86 ERA. Not good stuff there. And honestly, not great value in this game, but the Brewers' money line could be a safe play in a parlay. Next, the Cleveland Guardians and the Chicago White Sox. Really liking Chicago in this one. Cleveland was hot until yesterday, and the White Sox able to win 4-1 today. I think the pitching, Aaron Civil for Cleveland, who is 1-2 with a brutal 9.45 ERA starting for Cleveland. So just not a good pitcher starting for the Guardians. So I'm liking the White Sox to win the series today at home. Next, we have the Phillies at the Mariners. The series tied 1-1 with Seattle responding yesterday. Today, I think the pitching definitely favors the Mariners with Logan Gilbert starting. He's 4-0, 1.36 ERA, while the Phillies are turning to their bullpen and falter. And the stats say take Seattle here, but it might be a trap. I'm not so sure about this one. So I think our play here would be the over at 7.5 with decent offenses and Mariners. The Seattle Mariners are 4-1 in the over in their last 5 games. So that would probably be the best play there than trying to sort out who you're going to take on the money line, because the Phillies have a great offense and could always turn around and tear up Logan Gilbert, so who knows. Next, we have my local team, the Arizona Diamondbacks, hosting the Miami Marlins. I think this one is easy. The D-backs are hot and the Marlins are not. I got to see Arizona starter Merrill Kelly last week against Colorado, and this guy is just dialed in this season. He is wheeling and dealing. So we like Merrill Kelly in the start here for the D-backs and taking the series against the Marlins. And I give a slight lean to the under at 7.5 just because Merrill Kelly boasting that low ERA, and we'll see if that game can stay under. That's my lean. Now we have Colorado at San Francisco. So far, the Giants have dominated this series. There's no way around that. Going for the sweep today. Rockies starter Chad Kuhl has had a great season so far. I got him on my fantasy team, so hopefully he doesn't have an absolute blunder today. But yeah, Alex Cobb on the mound. He hasn't been great on paper for the Giants, but the Giants are the better team right now, just point blank with you, leading the Giants run line. But maybe a more solid play would be the over in this one at 7.5, since it has hit in the first 2 games of this series. Moving on, the Cubs at the Padres. This is a tough one today, I gotta say, because the Cubs are just not a great team. The Padres are 20-11, but you know, a shaky start to the series, getting shut out by Chicago 6-0. But I expect the Padres to get a home series win on the Pods money line here today. Next, the New York Mets at the Washington Nationals, and the Mets have been covering the run line against the Nationals, so that is a good sign. And of course, they squeaked out the run line victory for us yesterday on that play. Tyler McGill has been really solid for New York. The Mets came through yesterday, so I like them on the run line again at Washington, and the Nationals have been terrible at home, so should be a solid play there. Now, the Rays at the Angels. Like we talked about earlier, the Angels smoked Tampa yesterday. Just a horrible play on my part, and I admit that, unfortunately for us. But really hard to think that the Rays snap out of it today and get a win, especially going up against Shohei Ohtani, arguably the best player in baseball right now. You guys know, going 2 ways, and yeah, not usually a good idea to fade Ohtani. So I like the Angels to sweep here, especially after what we saw yesterday. Taking the money line and leaning the over at 7 because it's a low number, and I could see runs being picked up against each of the team's bullpens. I know we said not to fade Ohtani, but could definitely see some runs being put up. And I mean, the over will hit if we see the offense perform the way it has been for the Angels, regardless whether or not the Rays can even get something going with the bats there. So next game, Oakland at Detroit. This A's team did us right yesterday. I told you guys maybe take that plus odds money line in the second game for the A's. They got the dub there. And then again, at plus odds on the money line today on Wednesday. I like a play on Oakland because Detroit just has no offense. And then with that being said, the A's aren't a team to go out and be explosive and spank in a bunch of runs themselves. So I kind of like the under at 7.5 in this game as well. And of course, yeah, the A's getting that plus odds money line. Now we have Boston at Atlanta. Said yesterday I wouldn't play the Braves, and why? Because they'll burn you. Getting beat by Boston at home yesterday. Glad we didn't have anything to do with Atlanta, and right now it's been a team that I want to fade because I've taken them several times early on this season and they haven't done us right. So today, don't have much confidence in either of these teams right now, so not really a great play either way, but I think we may have some action on this game, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. Now, Houston at Minnesota. I'm really liking the Twins to bounce back today at plus odds. The money line is a great value here, I have to say, and they don't have to take on Justin Verlander today, helping pitch the shutout against the Twins yesterday, and I think Minnesota should be able to bounce back at home, so I do like the Minnesota money line today. Now we have Baltimore at St. Louis. I know I've been on the Baltimore fade, but I guess we can't just count them out just yet this season. Baltimore hanging in there, just 4 games back of 500 and picking up the 5-3 victory over St. Louis in St. Louis yesterday. So tough to fade the O's right now. They're hanging tough. But, you know, I think we have to go with the Cardinals again today. Just because St. Louis is the better team, and that's a fact. I expect them to have a bounce back game, and Miles Mikolas is on the mound starting for the Cardinals. 2-1 record, 1.53 ERA for Mikolas. So I do think that the Cardinals come back and lay a lick on the Baltimore Orioles. And now, finally, our last game of the day, Kansas City at Texas. Still don't know who's pitching today for the Royals. I'm sure we'll find out as the day progresses. The Rangers have been terrible at home, so this one is sort of a toss-up. I have a slight lean to Texas here, but this game will probably not have any final plays, especially with the over seeming a little high at 8.5. So not sure if you guys really want to touch this game. Two teams that just aren't very good right now. Obviously Texas pulling out the win yesterday, but yeah, just not really a great play. And honestly, I'm pissed at Texas for busting up our NRFI with 2 outs yesterday. So we'll stay away. But now that brings us to today's NRFI play of the day on this May 11th, Wednesday. And I know this may seem like a bit of a silly pick looking at these two teams, but I like a NRFI in Boston at Atlanta today. And it's great odds at -110, one of the lower NRFIs you'll see. And yesterday's game had a NRFI in the first inning. Of course, Boston going on to rattle off 6 runs in the top of the second. But I think today you look at this game and you just see, I just don't expect a score to go up right away. And Boston 22nd in first inning runs, and Atlanta's even worse at 26th in the first inning runs rankings. So a possibly solid play there on a -110 NRFI. And Getting to our prop bets today, we stumbled a little bit on our first one with Ketel Marte, but today not really seeing anything of great value that I like, and I think I am just trying to figure out the prop bets a little more for you guys. I don't want to just toss out something and say, hey, bet on this when you know it's not going to win, or you're just throwing your money down the drain. We may have a player prop in our final plays today, but right now just don't want to give you guys something that you're not going to be able to knock out of the park as we get ready for this full slate of games today. So be sure to leave your ride of the day in the comments. We want to hear from everyone. Chime in. Baseball is in full swing, no pun intended. All 30 teams in action, like we said before. And be sure to like and subscribe. You can become a baller for $2.99 a month, a very small value that will help us on this channel, and we appreciate all the support. Of course, as you see, as Evan has shown you guys, you get the bronze for 1 month, the silver for 2, and then gold for 3 if you stick with us. And again, I'm freshly on the MLB picks for you guys, and I appreciate all the warm welcome and support to the channel. I'm so grateful to be a part of this community, and I'm trying to continue bringing these plays, the best possible plays, each and every day. And I know yesterday we just got drilled right in the mouth with some very bad beats, but today I think we bounced back big time. It's time to get hot here on Schmidt's MLB picks. You can keep up with me and my work at my Twitter at the Ethan Schmidt. Be sure to give me a follow there, and I'll post the daily picks, our final plays, also sharing NHL and NBA picks on Twitter too. Appreciate you guys. Looking forward to continuing this journey with all of you. Ethan Schmidt signing out. Peace.